thing. That was not planned. That was not planned.
SOS!
Something Jamaican.
Something Jamaican?
Yes. It is Kofi Kingston.
Where's your Jamaican accent? Aren't you supposed to be Jamaican?
He should have applied. Didn't you? Weren't you used to be
Were
French?
you French?
Yeah, you're French.
When you're British aristocrat as
He'd
well.
probably been fired, but it'd have been amazing.
Oh, I would have done it.
Yeah, you've got to do it. If he starts it,
Yeah.
he used to be French. It is the Royal Rumble season, and who better to take a look at than Kofi Kingston, the king of the Royal Rumble to me. But this is Sam's on Wrestling. Welcome back. This is our power rankings, where we take wrestlers, we put them into categories, and we score them and rank them and decide which wrestler is the best of all the wrestlers. I'm Sam, and this is Elder Sam.
Hello!
And let's begin.
But before we begin, we have certain categories for the male wrestlers. We've got main event, mid card, and lower card. And always people complain about where we put people sometimes. But the rules for a main eventer is they have to either or both have had 2 world title reigns or been in multiple main event, pay-per-view main event storylines. And Kofi hasn't. He had 1 title reign, and every pay-per-view he actually had as that champion, he wasn't in the main event, surprisingly well.
I think you have to give him mid-card.
So we are going, just so we know, Kofi's in the mid-card. And just so you know also, this is his solo work. So this is only him as a solo, so this will not be taken into consideration anything as a New Day, apart from him, maybe his in-ring work if he's doing a singles. No New Day work. It's just Kofi as Kofi.
Yeah, absolutely. And let us know what you think of Kofi in the comments. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, as that is very important to us. So the first category we are looking at is their wrestling ability. Sam, what have you got for Kofi?
Before we even get started, I think Kofi's difficult, because Kofi's a bit all over the place, actually. Because, first of all, he's really, really beloved. And he's been going so long. Yeah. So long now. I mean, when did he make his debut? 2008?
2008, ECW.
Yeah, and so we're talking like, it's now to 2025, so we're talking, we're on to 17 years. So he has a lot to go by. But has there ever had a man who's had probably such a kind of career?
Yeah. Really, I mean, I think...
He never dropped to the lower card. He never got jobbed out.
He's very consistent. He's also had very few injuries.
Yes,
He's always
true.
been about. Like, he's always been doing something. For wrestling ability, I'm giving him 7. I always think he's exciting to watch. You know what you're going to get with him. What he proved in that gauntlet match that's in my Hall of Fame. He's got cardio. Like, he can go...
That's why I give him 8.
Like, an 8.
Yeah, because literally, your gauntlet match is what made me go and change it. And that was months ago. He's like, I literally went, God, he was so good in that match to watch. And you realise that a lot of some of his best match, the match with Brian, beautiful technical wrestling. He makes his very few mistakes, I always found.
Yes.
Kofi. The fact that he has the ability to do those Rumble, like, survival spots, which is why we're doing him in January, takes technical skill.
Yeah.
So I actually looked at him, I went, you know what? We always said that, the rules were, 0 to 2 is bad. 3 to 7 is your middling people, and then 8 to 9 to 10 is your best. And I generally think that he is one of the best mid-card workers of all time.
I really can get on board with that. Maybe I should have gone with an 8.
And 7 I understand as well, though.
The brilliant thing with that gauntlet match is that he didn't know that was going to happen until a few days before. So he had done. So he never really did much cardio when he was working out in the gym.
Yeah.
And he'd done in the gym a couple of days before a really long cardio session.
Did he?
And as he'd just done that really long cardio session, he got called by a producer and was told what was going on.
Was he physically prepped or was he knackered?
No, knackered. He literally said, "Oh no, I'm just absolutely knackered myself, and I've got to do like an hour on TV."
Do you know what? You wouldn't have noticed.
You wouldn't notice. You wouldn't have noticed at all.
I like his in-ring work. I think he has unique moves as well.
Yeah, he's really like the SOS and stuff. Just really inventive. So I always love the boom drop.
Boom drop, yeah.
Really good. Yeah, it's a bit kicky, but I like his.
He does have a bit of kicks about him, admittedly, but I definitely think that in this modern age, they're much more kicky than Kofi. I think Kofi's an 8, and I think 7 is also fair. Yeah. We like Kofi in the ring.
Storytelling is the next category. Now, I think before the gauntlet match, you might go with like a 6 or something a bit lower. I've gone with a 7. What have you gone?
I've also gone 7.
Yeah, I think that showed his storytelling. The bit where and I know I won't talk about the gauntlet match because I love
the whole career.
It's one of my favourite matches, and it's his whole career. And he's not just that; he's done plenty of other amazing stuff. But it's that bit where Styles is basically feeling sorry for him, and he's like hit me or something, or you know what I mean? He's just going, I've waited 10 years or whatever it is.
I think of the storyline with the Bryan match.
Yeah.
That's what drummed up for me, that storytelling that they did, because it was the B+ player stuff, and, you know, can he do it, can he do it? Michael Cole having a world of a commentary. That's what did it for me on the storytelling, because I actually thought he had decent storytelling anyway, but he had only 12 minutes a lot of the time. There's only so much you can tell a story in 12 minutes, and then you look at storylines, he didn't have a lot of great storylines as a singles. Do you think Randy killing his storyline run and all that sort of stuff? But I think Seven, when he got given the opportunity, I thought he told decent stories in the ring. The rest of that main event run, well, not even main event run, but WWE title run, the storytelling wasn't great with Orton, Ziggler, and all that stuff.
Are you telling me that storyline masterpiece of a match against Brock Lesnar wasn't an absolute masterclass in storytelling?
Couldn't he have been given 2 minutes? Couldn't they have done 3 F5s?
Makes me very sad.
And he just kept coming, and they just have 2 minutes of him just slowly keep going, I'm not going to give up. If he's going to get squashed, let him be like fighting to the bitter end.
Could you not get a rematch?
I don't even care about that. Just like, could you not have given him something?
It's the fact that next week his character just went back to being a tag wrestler as if nothing happened.
The only time he got anything of any note was back in that Rumble when Brock was on his tear.
And people went mental for that.
Yeah, and they did. But yeah, it's...
Now we move on to promo skill. And Sam, what have you gone with here?
4.
Really?
He, in the New Day, is hidden behind the brilliance of Xavier Woods and the entertaining of Biggie. He's proven that he wasn't a great promo with the Bryan thing. I didn't say he whiffed it, but God, Bryan held that stuff together. God, it was being held with sticky tape when it came to a promo thing, because Bryan's doing all the work, and Kofi, he's showing some emotion, he's showing some stuff. His promo stuff was never great. I always found his promo so weak. It was always just get in the ring and entertain. And they pushed him enough that he didn't drop down. But every time he got a microphone, his New Day stuff has dramatically improved him. See it this way: without the New Day of modern Kofi, because he's not been singles bar that main event run. I've got to stop saying main event run. He wasn't great then. I could have argued a 5, but I think there was just so long of not great promos, and he doesn't drop into the bottom section at all. But I couldn't say he was an average promo either. I think he's a below average promo. I really do.
Yeah, I've gone with a 6. So maybe
That's
I'm being a bit...
high.
I think I was basing that really off of the New Day stuff, but I know this is him as a singles guy.
You can only talk about the WWE title reign.
It's easy to forget. Because, with the Bryan stuff, because you think the storyline was so great, but if you actually look at the promos...
They are not good promo exchanges. Bryan's phenomenal at that moment. His heel work, I can't believe he was being heel.
Incredible. And
Kofi, when he gets a chance to do his 2 or 3 minute monologue, you know, there's passion in there, but I don't care.
Yeah.
And it was, thankfully, Bryan made me care about Kofi, as well as everyone loving Kofi and them just supporting him. But the promo ain't great. Are you happy with your 6?
No, I'll go 5.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
It's damn true.
We now look at the look.
And this is not just based on their attire, it can be their overall presentation. Obviously their physique does matter as well, but it's not just, are they attractive, are they, it's also just a lot of things, a lot of mixture, a lot of things, the entrance gear as well. Sam, what have you got?
6.
Yeah, so it just is a 6, isn't it?
I think he looks cool for a start.
He does.
I think, I've always thought the dreadlocks is always a cool look on a wrestler because it flows and moves around. I actually prefer it when he has short hair, weirdly. I don't know why. I always liked his shorts. I actually always thought his shorts were
I
quite
liked his shorts.
interesting.
Yeah, that little face on the back of it.
Yeah. I actually don't mind his look. I actually think it's a cool look. I like his body as well, actually. I think his body is a really interesting body. And then obviously I felt so sorry for that. His ribcage like concaved and stuff.
Yeah.
Which I thought was really interesting. But yeah, he's got a good decent body for what he does. It means he can literally have the cardio, have enough strength, as well as still appear for the WWE.
He looks as athletic as he is.
He reminds me of R-Truth on athleticism. They're so athletic, but you don't think they're going to be.
Yeah.
And then you go, oh my God, that's amazing that you've just pulled off that feat of athleticism.
I always really liked it. He had like a black, yellow and green colour scheme that always really worked for me. I really like that. So
I used to like the Jamaican, like he had like a jumpsuit, didn't he?
Yeah.
They used to rip off.
Yeah.
I used to like that. I actually really liked his early Jamaican stuff.
Yeah,
I know he's from Ghana. Why do they go Jamaican? It's just so racist.
Very Vince. It's very Vince.
Do this accent, but I would like you to do this accent not just in the ring, for the rest of your life.
And then film this video on a beach.
Trouble in bad, isn't it?
Bad,
I like his look. It's not a great look for your main eventers and stuff like that. But I like his look. I think it's a decent look.
6.
6.
Now we move on to the entrance. Sam, what have you got?
8.
Okay.
I toed and froed, and then I was there going, do you know what? His song, nothing else, his original song, not his New Day song, nothing else sounded like it. So it was really unique to him. Everyone knew about it. It's one of those songs where you're like, no one's going to be able to sing along. You don't know the lyrics of this.
I tried as a kid.
Yeah. I liked this stuff because people copied it.
Doing that,
Yeah, well, it was his solo gimmick.
Yeah.
But then the fireworks went with it.
Yeah.
And I really liked that. I may be going quite high here, but I just remember really kind of enjoying the high energy, the jump, the bounce with it that came with it. I liked the song because it really fitted the gimmick. The problem is it stopped fitting the gimmick about 2 years later.
Yeah.
But I liked the entrance. Maybe it's a bit too high.
No, I'm with you. I gave it 7.
Yeah.
I think
that's probably where I should be.
I thought to myself, maybe it's nostalgia talking because he was coming through just as I started watching.
I was watching when I was
Kofi.
16, so
yeah. That Randy feud, like I was so into it, and I think if it came back, I would pop so much for that theme song.
Yeah,
like I love that song, and it's
well, he did bring it back when the New Day were in the time machine.
Oh, cool!
And he came out and went, "No, take me back! No, take me back!" I loved that. That's when I went, Kofi personality. Yeah. I like his entrance, but I think I say 8 sounds too high, so I'll just flip that to a 7.
Be nice to Kofi.
I am nice. I've been too nice. I actually do think 8's pretty too high, but I actually think it's a fun little mid-card entrance.
Yeah, that's the thing, it has a ceiling, doesn't it?
It's not a main event entrance. And that was always the problem with Kofi. He doesn't look main event. And it's from appearance to move sets as well. Promo, there's just some... He reminds me a lot of someone like a Shelton, a Dolph, Carlito. They're going, you're all mid-card. Great mid-card, solid mid-card. We need you, your athleticism. We can put you in any match. We can even throw you into a main event match. And we're going to have a good, story or pay-per-view at the very least. But you just look at them and go, you're all just a bit mid-cardy. And
now we move on to their heel work. And this is a bit tricky with Kofi.
Because he's never been a heel as a singles
Not as a singles guy.
So,
it was purely with New Day.
So the rule we always said is you can't really go above a 5 if you don't have a tag team finisher, if you've never been heel or never been face, that type of thing.
Yeah.
But we can use heel, because he's been a heel as a tag team. And we can use that work to generate this stuff. I've gone 3 though.
Really?
And if I'm being perfectly honest, I'd have given him a 3 anyway.
Okay.
When they first got going, they were kind of baby faces when they actually started. And you're going, I thought you were going to be a heel. And then when they first started, it wasn't working. It was bad.
You mean when they were face?
When they turned heel, it was bad. It was when they started going over the top stupid, but that went babyface so quickly. Kofi's not a heel. And I don't think Kofi could be a heel.
So I don't think he could be a heel on his own, but I disagree with the whole they were bad as soon as they turned heel. That was what gave them life.
No. It's not what I'm saying. It was they couldn't be heel for long because essentially they were being baby faces as a heel. They reminded me a little bit of Stone Cold as an example. Stone Cold doing things that are so heely, but he got cheered as a baby face.
Yeah.
This is very similar. I also just don't think Kofi's a heel anyway. I don't think he has the potential. I think he's just too nice.
No, I
too
entirely,
nice of a bloke.
It's a bit like Harvey Dean in a sense, isn't it?
I know. Watch ECW.
Oh, yeah, maybe I'm wrong.
No. RVD as a gimmick could do it. Couldn't do it in ring work.
Yeah.
He could I know we'll talk about RVD one day, but literally great heel, then starts doing spectacular moves, and you're like, you're a heel. I'm not meant to cheer you, clown. Yeah. I think Kofi's a similar thing. I don't think he could be a heel.
I get you in terms of Kofi on his own, but I think with the New Day, their heel work at the start, it was about WrestleMania 31, just after that they kind of turned. They were so good. And you can have heels that are like an Edge and Christian. That's what I compare them to. That are funny and cowardly, and because they're 3 against 2,
how much did Kofi do in that though? Because I think Big E and Xavier are doing a lot of the heel lifting there.
I do.
Because Kofi, I thought, was the big smile and the cheesiness. I felt like he was the third in the heelness. When they became babyface, I actually thought he became more prominent again. So I actually think it's a lot of those two.
No, I agree with you. I disagree with the point that the heel stuff didn't work.
I didn't say it didn't work.
I thought that's what you said.
No, when they first started, they were bad because they had restrictions. Then they went go and be over the top positivity, and they were amazing, and the heel worked. but it couldn't work for long because it's so goddamn entertaining.
They got so over that, like people like the PTP faced them, and no one wanted them to win.
SummerSlam 2015.
Yeah,
so that's where my brain's going.
Yeah, but yeah, I can see your point with Kofi. I just really liked his stuff in the New Day, so I've given him a 5.
But yeah, 3 for me. I can't see it.
Now we move on to their babyface work. Sam, what have you gone with?
I've gone 9.
Have you?
I looked at this and I went, do you know what? For me to massively care about you and get to the stage where we watched Kofi win the title live, and it was almost cry-worthy.
Oh, it really was.
And other people were crying. And I think if you have made people cry for you winning a fake match, you are a great babyface. And I don't know if that's just from Moveset or the fact that he's just clearly such a nice, wonderful guy.
Yeah, he really is.
That every time he comes on, I'm just happy to see him. I think he gets the crowd going. I think he gets the crowd up on their feet. I think he can hold a really long match. I think he can hold a middle match, all with good babyface work. I genuinely look at that and go, do you know what? If he could just get the promos right and maybe do some sort of slight gimmick change, he could have been a main eventer.
Yeah.
But I actually genuinely think his babyface work is excellent. I really do, as proven in the New Day. I've got to go with 9. I think he's generally that good.
No, I've gone with an 8 for a similar reason.
Which I think's fair.
Yeah, I just think he's wonderful. And just to echo all the points that you say about WrestleMania. And
we watched that live, and I mean not in the arena. We were at a bar watching it.
Yeah.
And we were so happy.
Yeah, that was the peak of the WrestleMania. It all just went downhill.
Should have ended there.
Should have main evented, really. But yeah, fantastic. And I think he is the opposite of The Miz, where some people are natural heels and some people are natural faces. He is just a natural babyface because of who he is.
I'd want to meet him just so I could have a chat, just to say hello, because I think he'd just be he just seems such a lovely bloke.
Yeah.
Yeah, as a babyface, he's generally a 9 to me. 8 seems fair for me.
Yeah. Now we move on to their gimmick / personality. Sam, what have you got?
7.
Yeah, 7's about right, I think.
Yeah, I had 8 originally. I've changed it as we've discussed and talked here. Happy going personality, the gimmick of the Jamaican thing, and the controlled frenzy, and and
Michael Cole,
all that rubbish. Wasn't there a little bit of like Jamaican me crazy, Kofi? Mike Adamley, I think.
Yeah.
But there's a ceiling, and this is the reason there's a ceiling for Kofi. So I've got 7 for
I
gimmick
think
and
7's very
personality.
fair. Good, but not great. Yeah.
His gimmick in the New Day is a 10. So you have to look at it in that sense. But on his own, I think the personality came out a little bit in the Bryan feud. Maybe that might have dropped him up from a 6 to a 7, to be honest. But generally speaking, I think that 7 is the most you could give Kofi for gimmick and personality as a single star.
Yeah. And now we move on to how over / how much of a draw they were. Sam?
7 again.
Yeah.
I think he's over. And he's always over. He's never not been over. He got him over straight away.
Well, this is the thing. He was always so organically over that when they randomly just pushed him out of nowhere one night, everyone went with it. Yeah, there was no resistance to that. It was the other way. Like
the Madison Square Garden boom drop on Orton. Crowd are going berserk.
One of my favourite memories as a kid. Yeah, I love that. So he's always been popular because he's that.
Him winning at Survivor Series and those 2 wins in like 4 seconds when he beats Punk and beats Orton. That's fantastic booking, by the way.
Yeah.
He's always over. And he was over as the WWE Championship match. His title reign, it wasn't over. And I don't know if that's from the booking. I don't know if SmackDown wasn't great at the time.
I think the story had just gone. He was the underdog champion. Then what do you do once they win the title?
This is the issue with a babyface winning. People complained about Cody Rhodes' title reign. And it's actually, it's excellent because, the merchandise selling proven that he was actually over. But people always complain because a babyface shouldn't be a champion. They should be chasing. So it's so hard to book a babyface champion. I think the only way you can book a babyface champion is if you have an unbelievable heel chasing, or you have an authority figure who's a negative. Yeah. Like a Vince or an Eric Bischoff and stuff. And I think Kofi ran into that. But to be honest, they paired him with Ziggler. That was the problem. If they'd paired him with Orton first, which I think it was that way around. I think it was Ziggler then into Orton.
Yeah.
If they paired him with Orton first, it might have been better. I also, on a completely unrelated note, it's nothing to do with Power Rankings, I hated that storyline.
It should have been me.
No, the Orton is the stupid.
The Orton one.
The stupid.
Yeah.
That is a terrible idea. Something that he said because he botched something, so you're breaking kayfabe to build a story. Stupid. It's always stupid if you break kayfabe. Hate it. And you got 7 as well.
It. I've also gone 7. Right. Now we move on to his finisher. You must always end on a finish, and it's the Trouble in Paradise. What have you gone with? That was a terrible accent.
It wasn't great. Don't do a Jamaican accent. It's not great. We'll get cancelled. I've gone for 8.
8.
Kicky moves have always been a bit up and down for me, but it's such a unique kicky move to be essentially a spin kick from it. Almost like it's doing a karate move almost, or a taekwondo type kick spin move. I actually really like it. And what I'm more surprised about is how often it doesn't look bad. Because it could so easily look terrible. Ironically, the one that looked the worst was probably the one at WrestleMania when he won the title.
I disagree entirely. No, I think that was the best one.
Oh, maybe.
But I think it was absolutely the best one.
But I think in terms of hitting, how it hit. But I like the move. I really like the Trouble in Paradise move. I think it really works for him as well. Because you think it'd be some sort of athletic move or something like that. Like off the top rope or something. I really like that because what's the old rules of the finisher? Can you hit it out of nowhere? Can you hit it on anyone? Bang, bang, bang. And it's a unique kick. I've not really seen anyone else have it.
It is a unique kick. I think I've given it a 7. I do like it, and it's got a good setup. I just think it never looks that powerful because you can't do it that powerful.
You can't do it properly.
Yeah. So he has to hold back on it a little bit, and I don't think people tend to sell it that well. I was going to say that Daniel Bryan's sell of it was probably the best one. That's probably my favourite Trouble in Paradise, just even aesthetically. I give it a 7 because I think, is it that great to look at? It takes a little bit for him to spin, but I agree with a lot of your points. I'd give it a 7. And now it's time to look at the leaderboard. Where does he slot in? Obviously, we put him as a mid-card, but we can also look at the overall standings. Sam, I've got him as 66. What have you got?
I've also gone 66. Yeah, we've nicely paired up, so that gives him an overall score of 132. Very mid-cardy type score. On the overall leaderboard, he slots into 6th place. He's just one below the Big Show. And this is what people go, is he really? Is he better, worse than the Big Show? But this is what happens when you look at all 10 different categories and you're ranking on all 10 with 2 different perspectives going on. I think it's the promo.
Yeah.
Promo and heel.
Yeah, and Big Show can have the look going for him as well. And stuff like that.
If you drop promo and heel, Kofi probably has lost out on 10 marks. Put 10 marks on, he would be top of the mid-card leaderboard. But because of those 10 mark drop, he actually goes into 3rd on our mid-card leaderboard. He's literally 6 points behind Carlito instead, so he's gone into 3rd place on our mid-card leaderboard. But thank you for joining us in Trouble in Paradise. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And where would you rank Kofi? Do you agree? Do you disagree? What would you do? Put it in the comments below, and we will see you next time. We need to do the New Day, because I think we need to give Kofi more flowers.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I love the New Day.
I do the New Day. Maybe soon.